episode of Anime Talk. I am Joe, and this is a special night. For not only is it a Anime Talk night, it is a Terribad night. We have
Oh
three
God.
special guests that are here tonight to discuss Terribad anime. So let's get started with introductions. First off, my name is Joe. You can find me at We Remember Love as a staff writer there, or on Twitter at Joe Animated. And you can send questions to either my Twitter account or just tag them Joe's Anime Talk. Or you can use the social stream on the right-hand side of the broadcast to get your questions in for the end of the show. But let's get to my first guest. My first guest tonight is one of the kings of Terribad, Shin Maru. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm Shimaru. I write at The Cart Driver, the Nihon Review, and I'm on Twitter at Shinmaru, and I am the king of Terribad, not that imposter Acadian.
Oh, our next guest is Akira. Go ahead.
Hey guys, I'm Akira. I've been in MIA for a little bit. I don't really write anymore, but I used to write for my own blog. More fundamental is find me at my Twitter handle. And interesting choice picking me because I've never been to Terribad, but I'll have lots of.
All right, and our last guest tonight is Flawfinder. Go ahead.
I'm Mr. Flawfinder. I write for the anime blog Standing on My Neck, and I am trying to catch up on Terribad and dethrone these losers.
That's big talk, sir.
That's big talk trying to challenge Shin.
I've been dethroned, bro. You can have it.
All right, so let's just start off really simple here. Let's just define what Terribad is. You know, what defines what a show, when a show reaches that Terribad level. So Shin, go ahead. Define for us what Terribad means when it comes to anime.
Alright, well, much like, Gurren Lagann's about kicking reason to the curb and, going beyond the impossible, I'd say Terribad's about kicking regular bad to the curb and going beyond the terrible. I mean, there's a certain quality to the bad and Terribad. There's like a certain real extra bit of weirdness, passion, or just old fucking craziness that just really makes them memorable to me. I think that's the most important point to a Terribad. It has to be instantly memorable. It has to burn itself into your brain forever. That kind of special kind of badness that when you think about anything that even remotely relates to it, you remember instantly. Oh man, that was when Bao shouted, "Oh, Bao has a laser cannon," or that's when that flying goose from Garzy's Wing took that guy to another dimension, or anything like that, anything insane like that. That's the Terribad experience to me. It's not just some lame anime like another that's just regular bad. Oh, this person died in a kind of crazy way. Ooh, it's like Kenya Boy, where you see a horde of cultists dressed up like water dragons who are going to sacrifice the one white woman in Africa. That is Terribad.
I think Terribad as a concept requires more than just negligence, right? Because if you have negligence, you are bad or a terrible show. I think you have to be belligerently destructive towards any kind of artistic expression in order for something to be, in my opinion. There has to be some conscious effort to how bad the production is.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. That's what I mean when I say there's an extra bit of passion put into it. I think a lot of people, when they make something really bad, they generally have their heart and their soul put into it. I mean, maybe they don't think they're making something really good, although I think a lot of people really do think that, but they have that extra something, that extra kind of kick that makes them want to go beyond, the regular kind of concepts of good and bad.
Yep.
All right. So let's take this to the next question then. So why, usually when stuff gets terrible, nobody wants to watch it. So why do we want to watch these Terribad shows? These shows, or why do we find them so enjoyable? These shows that are so bad that they kind of just pass around that circle and come back to being good.
You know, it's not about the show for me. It's about who you watch it with. I'm not, I've always been a big proponent of anime. I think that is truly when Terribad um, shines, is when you're watching other people. I remember when School Days first came out, I watched it with like all of Nico video. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had watching anime.
Oh,
And I think
yeah.
it's all about being able to discuss, right? Because if you're watching, say, I'm not as well versed in Terribad as Shinmar here, but let's say you're watching something like Kitty Garland by yourself. Um, you're just like, oh, why? What am I doing with my life? But if you're watching with other people, it suddenly becomes really, really fun. You know? Like, Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Okay, can I answer now?
Yeah.
Sorry, everybody's just
Yeah.
chiming in. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, since I didn't get to say my opinion on the last question, I'll just start with that. To me, Terribad is like the anime version of exploitation films, like the Godfrey Ho stuff or the Toxic Avenger. And I'm an exploitation film fan, so it doesn't it 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 does matter a bit to me when I watch with other people because that makes it more enjoyable. But the main reason I love Terribad is because, well, like I said, I like exploitation films, and Terribad is basically the anime version of that.
I gotcha. So then, why do you find it so bad? Why do you get that so bad it's good feeling when you watch it? Then, what about it does that?
Well, it may be bad, like Terribad. It may be like bad, like maybe the acting is bad, or like the execution is bad, but it is genuine. There's like some genuine passion put into it. It's not like trying to be cool. It's like uh, it's bad, but it's real.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Um, I find like I'm increasingly I'm kind of rejecting the so bad is good moniker. Like one of your guests before, Landon, he kind of
Oh
pushed
yeah.
a whole screed like against that, and I kind of find myself like getting inching more to his side. I mean, there's a lot of like genuine bad stuff and anything that's like at the Terabad level, but I find there's actually a lot of, like, in a weird way, there's a lot of stuff that's actually legitimately enjoyable in a lot of these things. Like, a while back, I watched one of these Terabyte anime called Cypher. And it's basically one of those, like, one-shot OVAs made to advertise a manga. But it was kind of the creators, like, chose to present it in a style of, so it was, like, half mockumentary, and that's kind of a loaded word, and like half like really crazy 80s music video. And the story was like dull as shit. I mean, it didn't do its job in that it made me want to. It didn't make me want to read the manga at all. I was like really like fascinated by the presentation and how like far it went with their packaging, like kind of at the expense of the story. And that's the kind of thing you find a lot of Terabyte. There's like maybe like one element or something that's like really genuinely like interesting and weird, and that maybe in like another production it could like make something like wholly legitimately good, but in a weird way it kind of like stands out in like a crazy way when it's like surrounded by all of this like insanity and badness. That's just what I've been finding, and like the Terabyte stuff that I find like legitimately enjoyable that I've been watching lately.
Yeah, but I think, let's not talk about so bad it's good. Let's talk about so bad it's shit. Right? 'Cause
Yeah, because I think California Crisis is a truly awesome anime. I actually agree with Landon on that one.
yeah, like I think some things are just terrible, and you
Oh yeah.
watch them because they're terrible. You watch them for the same reason why people watch car crashes, or like, I don't know. There's a certain sense of like Schadenfreude
it's,
about
the,
watching Terror Bad.
it's the same reason you watch NASCAR. You don't watch it for the racing. You watch it for the spectacular wreck.
Uh, No, you watch it for the racing.
To see people do a right turn
Left turn.
over and over.
Left turn.
I'll be here all week.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I've watched a lot of Terribad, and I legitimately like a lot of these things, but there are some that are just like, oh, so damn terrible. Like, I'm just looking over the big old list I wrote, and I'm looking at like Itadare My Santa right now, and that was just, I still have nightmares about that horrible thing. It's just.
I've actually seen that one, and it was just, I don't get if it's supposed to be about a female Santa Claus, if it's, I mean, there's just, it was a scatterbrain Christmas special for sure.
I always just wonder, what kind of human makes these shows? Like, presumably if you entered this field, you have a great passion for what you're doing, so, and, some competence. Because some Terribad shows aren't even made by, like, minor studios. They're made by, like, major studios, right? So I have to ask, like, who thinks this way? Like, if anyone ever like runs like a convention, I want you guys to invite a director as a guest of honor who's done a Terribad show or a career Terribad director, and I want to ask him, like, what is your life like? How do you how do you look at yourself in the mirror every morning? Feel anything other than disgust for who you are?
Well,
I'm curious. I'm dead serious.
Well, I know Necromon was made because it was the Netscape's anniversary, and they just created it to celebrate their anniversary, and it shows.
I think some of these are made by like a lot of first time people working on this kind of like spreading their wings, trying to like work things out. Like if you look at like Armageddon was like in the early 80s, and there was like a ton of famous people who worked on it, like the director Rintaro, Katsuhiro Otomo, Yoshiaki Kawajiri, Yoshinori Kanata, like really huge names of the 80s and 90s, and the movie is just dog shit. It's such a terrible movie. It's like full of like racist caricatures.
That's not a reason why
like,
a movie is terrible.
Well, start somewhere.
It's like really clumsy and moralistic. The writing is just awful everywhere. It's so boring and long.
But the other thing that I really, okay, fine. We say incompetent natives. Fine, I'll take that. But what boggles me even more is that as like a major corporation, this studio would allow this kind of. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Didn't someone stop to think for a second when Kenya Boy was being made that this is probably not something that they or when the Prince of Tennis movie was being made and they're just like that part with the dinosaurs.
Oh, that part was funny.
We should cut that. Like where are the editors? Where are the producers? Where's the quality control?
Kira, if you were an anime executive and you cut the dinosaurs, you'd be fired.
Oh, the dinosaurs are what made that movie.
That may be true, but at least I have standards.
So let's transition.
Standards, the dinosaurs are the best part of the movie.
All right, so let's transition then. Since we're talking about our favorite Terribad shows, let's talk about it. What are some Terribad shows that come up on your favorites list, like the cream of the crop?
California Crisis, Kenya Boy. I liked Megami Tensei. I like Poppy, and
Everybody loves Poppy.
Poppy is not bad, though. Can't name it as my favorite because it's legitimately good.
Hey, you gotta think though, it scares the Irish pretty well though.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh jeez.
And I'm currently looking through Legend of Duo, and the first episode I saw that, I was like, this looks good. I can get into this.
I've seen like Garzy's Wing. I've seen the Santa Show. Oh, what else? I don't catch Terribad very often. It's It's never.
And you're not crazy enough to keep up with it
That
week
it's
by
on a
week.
time when I can't shove my
Yeah.
kids in a closet. You know, they're too active. But
Yeah.
yeah, just I guess I would count Guilty Crown up with Terribad almost. It definitely had some characteristics, you know, that fit into that Terribad genre for me.
Maybe.
I could see that, yeah.
No, but I think Guilty Crown, the difference between Guilty Crown and I think other Terribad shows was that I think, I think they genuinely tried to make Guilty Crown a good show.
Yeah, they
Oh, yeah.
definitely did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They attacked it with no cynicism and all of the enthusiasm in the world. And, we hate it because we're not their target audience.
Who the heck was the target audience for that?
Japanese people, apparently. People love that stuff. Sold like hotcakes over there.
I'm still mad at them.
Yeah, I could, yeah, I could definitely feel they're putting their all into it. That's kind of part of the reason I didn't drop it. It's because they were just throwing everything out there. They're coming up with crazy stuff every week, and it was just so insane. Even if it didn't totally work, it kept my eyes glued to the screen every week. Even if it was just.
The only reason I even heard of that show was because a certain Irish jackass hyped it up.
Oh, man.
So insulting him when he's not even awake to hear.
I know, right? Thank God for fucking time zones.
I know.
Thank God.
It's 4 a.m. his time. He's not even out of bed yet. He probably just went to bed. But so Shin, you wrote a 4-page article on your top. Oh, it had to be almost top 20, top 25 Terribad shows. What was number 1 on your list at the time?
When I first wrote it, it was Kenya Boy. I think I just finished watching it, when I was writing it. Kenya Boy is is an insane trip. I mean, I did not expect it to go to the places it goes. I'm kind of reluctant to describe it here, just as I don't want to spoil the joys of the movie. The thing is crazy, not just in plot, but the director was it's kind of avant-garde live action films director. Usually, I think this maybe might have been the one animated film he directed, and there's all this insane almost nonsensical experimentation going on with the visuals. And I mean the picture I have to go with Kenya Boy on my post is at a point it's a visual gag where the main kid hits these African warriors and they turn white and he turns black, and it's just I couldn't believe my eyes. I thought it was I legit thought it was an animation error at first, and then they kind of break the fourth wall a bit and point it out and then switch the color, the skin colors back. I almost fell out on my bed laughing when I saw that. It's so ridiculous, and I can't even call it racist because it's so bizarre. Oh, that fucking movie, man.
I just think that adds the charm of the movie.
It is quite. It charmed me quite thoroughly.
Sorry?
So, Kira, you don't watch a ton of Terribad, but of what you've watched, what would you say rises to the top?
I have a policy of not watching shows that are bad.
Kenya Boy's good.
I'll keep my response to that to myself, but go on.
Yeah. So, number 1 on my Terribad list is K-On!
I don't know.
Followed closely. Does anyone remember Kodomo no Jikan? Anybody?
Yeah. You mean the one with the underage girls? Yeah, I know that one.
Yep. There was that quality. There was the Idol Master. Oh, I'm kidding.
Okay, some stern guy's gonna.
Someone's gonna.
Those are
wreck
fighting
the
words.
shit out of me. I'm gonna die, aren't I? No, but I haven't really seen that many bad shows. I think School Days was one of the first genuinely bad shows that I've watched. One and only, I think. Mostly because I watch a lot of shows by myself, and like I said, the whole fun of Terribad is doing it with other people. I remember the one time I did show for Terribad, we never got to it, because, you know, Kadian was too busy mouthing off some other stuff, so we never got to actually watch the show. And so I left, and I never got to see Terribad. So yeah, I don't know. Just like any show that tries so hard to be good but just isn't. And also any show where there was clearly no like checks and balances and no quality control, that's my favorite kind of Terribad. You know?
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
its own way, in a way, when shows are trying so hard to be good and they're just like bad. You just want to bring them close to shoulder, hug them, whisper in the air. It'll be all right, guilty crowd.
Now,
Yeah,
great.
let's kind of stop there for a sec. Is it bad by Western standards, or is it just bad by just entertainment standards?
We have no idea because we don't live in the minds of crazy Japanese otaku. We can surmise how they think, but not really know. So I guess Terribad is a very subjective thing, right? Like, you mean, I don't think there's any way you can make it an... Yeah, there's no way you can make it objective.
Yeah, there's like definitely disagreements, like wild disagreements everywhere about what people think is like worth watching, what people think is crap. You know?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I just go for like if it feels sort of like an exploitation film, then it goes into the Terribad category. But even then, exploitation films themselves, they sometimes have like varying definitions on that too.
Yeah. Yep.
So let's we've kind of done this already, but we can kind of keep going. So either something you've recently watched, or maybe a show that aired this calendar year, you know, minus the whole Guilty Crown conversation. You know, is there something that's come up recently that you've either recently discovered, or something that's aired that you would consider Terribad that you've enjoyed?
Oh, teacher, pick me. Pick
All
me.
right, Kira, go for it.
There was one show that was one word that started with an F that aired not so long ago. I'm kidding. I'm talking about Fractal.
But that brings up a good point. Was it just terrible? Was it okay? Was it a failure in execution? Was it just flat out terrible, where they just didn't do anything, or was it Terribad?
I honestly thought it was just regular bad. I mean, they were going for. I think they were definitely going for something. I think they nailed some things. Like I really like the betting and stuff, and I kind of enjoyed some of the ideas and stuff they were going for. It just kind of like fell apart at the end, and honestly, it's not really that much different than a lot of anime.
I thought it was bad because it just like there was just no thought. Like I don't know, like it just fell apart so spectacularly in the
I
end.
still have yet to see that one.
But more recent shows. There was a Oni-chan Koto.
Who is Emoto?
No. I mean, Who is Emoto is a work of art. Stop. Stop.
Is that the one that was like that parody show? You know, it was all the characters were really skinny with like ball-shaped heads.
It's the one where we all drank and got blackout every week.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking
It
about.
had a really long name too, didn't it?
Yeah,
that's right,
it's too fucking long for me to
We
remember.
all called it Onikoto. You know?
Yes.
One with the anorexic giraffe character designs.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was super casual. That show was super casual.
But see, for me, that's one way to get through Terribad. Every time you see a goose wing in Garzy's wing, take a drink. You know, within the first 10 minutes, you're good to go. You know, the show's great at that point.
Yep.
Or watching Onikoto, you know, every time she says Oni-chan, take a shot. You
Oh,
know, 15
done,
minutes.
done.
15
I
minutes.
was literally
Alcohol poisoning.
wheeled off to the hospital in 30
Yeah.
minutes.
You might as well just like punch your liver. You might as well just open up your chest cavity, up your like torso and like punch your liver at that point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you might as well stop too because you're not going to keep up with the Irish. You know, they'll.
Always comes back to the Irish.
That is tonight. I don't know why, but they're easy to pick on. We're making the show Terribad at the same time we're talking about it. But
This is a meta Terribad show. This show is terrible.
it is.
It's
We're
crazy.
A terrible show talking about terrible anime.
Yeah, look at this. We only have 10 viewers right now. That's how bad it is. I think that's a record low.
I know
You
everybody.
can't see the number of viewers.
Yeah, you can.
I can see it.
So what else? I'm trying to think of anything. See, Terribad, I think, is one of those things where we talked last week about how you're looking for that next great hit. You know, that next show that's just going to wow you. I think Terribad comes in those same kind of cycles where every so often you just get something and go, yes, that is what defines Terribad. But the sad thing is, I don't think you see that as often now as you did. Let's put this in perspective. Do you think the occurrence of Terribad has decreased with the increase in more trying to make things more marketable to the larger amounts of groups? There's less specialized focus in shows. Does that make sense?
Uh,
Yeah.
I would have agreed with that if I didn't just see Asamade Jugyochu and go, no, this is Terribad and it's freaking awful.
What were those names again?
Asamade Jugyochu. Basically, they're still Terribad being made now. I go like, this is, when I watched that, and of course there was Splunker Sensei the year before. And,
These
There's
all
the-
sound like pornos.
Splunker Sensei is not a porno.
But
yeah,
Asamane
Asamade.
Jugyochu definitely sounds like a porno to me.
It is. It might as well be.
Okay, but pornos, as a general rule, cannot be Terribad by the virtue that they're pornos.
Hanran, Crimson Wolf. I'm pretty sure that can be qualified as a porno.
So, this what was it? Last spring, Gyo came out. The one where the fish come rising out of the sea on their own little mechanical legs, and if you get infected, the mechanical legs feed off of your gases. I would
Wait, what is
consider-
this? Is this Ika Musume that you're talking about right now?
Yeah.
No, it's
Gyo?
like adapted from the Junji
Alright.
Ito manga.
Alright, I'm trolling
Gyo.
the shit out of everyone right now. Sorry. Go on.
Gyo or Gaio, I would consider that Terribad just because it was supposed to be a horror show, but it wasn't that horrible. It was just bad and funny. I don't know. Not exactly. So
Anyway.
so Flawfinder, you would argue that Terribad is still being made. What about you, Shin?
I don't know. I'm not. Think of how best to word this. I mean, I don't watch enough like current stuff. I guess be able to spot like everything that could be like crazy like Terribad in a season. I see something like every once in a while. Like last year, Rainbow Gate. Best shows
Oh,
of the
Rainbow
year.
Gate.
I need to see that.
Yo, the century, please.
Rio
Next
was
question.
yes, Rio was so wonderful, and that's the kind of thing I'm looking for in like I guess like a current Terribad. I mean, they literally take a character that's just like a pachinko mascot, and I'm pretty sure there's like no story or anything or whatever, and they offer in a world where bats have like chicken wings for wings, or like play pinball in space, or like sharks with lasers and shit, man. Yeah, it was
I
the
think
show.
Freaking laser beams.
I think one
Yes.
of the surefire ways to make a Terribad show is to base it off of a pachinko. So, like, did anyone watch Umi Monogatari back in the day?
I did not.
That was bad, really bad. Rainbow Gate was, we'll say bad as a synonym for awesome.
Indeed.
Other shows based on pachinko are equally bad. Evangelion.
What?
Yeah, let's move on.
So we've kind of buzzed through these topics pretty quick, having quite a bit of fun with them. But I'll let you guys kind of free talk. If there's anybody listening that wants to ask a question of our three esteemed guests tonight, remember the theme is Terribad. If you have any questions for them, go ahead and put them in the social stream, and we'll get to them here shortly. But anything you guys want to add that we missed earlier on any of our previous topics?
If Hideaki Anno ever plays at like Evangelion pachinko machine.
Oh, God. I actually have an interesting question for everybody.
Go for it.
What are some Terribad moves that you've seen anime fans do in real life?
None. I don't meet any Terribad fans in real life.
No, I mean, I don't mean fans of Terribad. Like, what are some things that you've seen people do that are just so impossibly idiotic that they're hilarious?
Oh, good. Let's see if I can delve far enough in my...
Well, anime fans are just people in general.
No, I mean, we're talking specifically within the fandom, I think. That way it's a little more relatable, a little more fun for everyone who's listening.
I got no idea how I would answer that.
I haven't been around the fandom long enough to have any examples, I guess.
Oh, man.
I mean, you get the people on Twitter and stuff that still go, you know... Well, I guess those aren't true anime fans, but there's the Narutards who always defend that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? You always get funny stuff out of them.
Yeah. Let's pour one out for anime justice right now. I'm literally spilling wine all over my carpet.
Oh no!
Yikes.
We're not going there, but I will say that was an interesting conversation.
But no. What I was saying, another really good one was I heard about this one on IRC from one of my friends. This guy was in Japan and he was playing the crane game, and some cute girl comes up to him, and he's like about to give up, and she's like, oh, like, you can do it, like, you still have 1 credit left, and he was like, oh shit, I didn't realize I had a credit. So like, he ends up getting like this Miku plushie. He gets the thing with this credit. This girl is super impressed with him. He thinks she's really cute. And then she's like, oh my god, that's so cool, you got it. And then he's like, oh, like, do you like Miku? And she's like, yeah, I'm a cosplayer, and I'm like actually looking for one of these because like I need one. And he was just like, oh, I'll sell it to you for $20. And I was like, oh my god.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oh, I was like, oh man. Oh, that's one for the history books.
There's a comment here from Fashizzle. The dudes cosplaying as girls. I heard it. One of the back east shows that there were tons of guys cosplaying as Korra from the last Avatar, the new series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you serious? Like, you do realize it's a chick, right?
Oh, keeping up with JP Meyer on Twitter during all Autocad was the best.
Yes, that's what it was. It's like I'm reading these tweets and going, he said this at least 5 times now. Like, this isn't just a freak occurrence. This is actually a thing. There are guys cosplaying as her. It's like, holy cow. Like, personally, you can call me gender biased, whatever. I think guys should cosplay as guys and girls should cosplay as girls. Take that for what it's worth.
No way.
I'm very.
And I can't believe that all of people on Twitter who think I'm a homophobe aren't here to hear this, but I'm totally like for guys cosplaying. I think it's a lot of fun. Like, I mean, I've never done it, but I would imagine that it's super fun.
What freaks me out though, I've seen some pictures of this, and my wife has some makeup books that prove me completely wrong. But there are some guys that look a hell of a lot better with makeup, wigs, the whole works than a lot of women do, and that scares the shit out of me. Like, they're not just drag queens; these are full-fledged. When they've got the makeup and the whole outfit on, you wouldn't know the difference.
Yup.
Just like Thailand.
I definitely don't know.
That to me, that's Terribad. That is so bad. It's so bad. It's I don't know. It's yeah, whatever. We're getting sidetracked, but it's definitely.
I've been to so many anime cons. I'm just desensitized to it. Like, doesn't even phase me. Doesn't phase
honestly,
me at
well, you
all.
live in California too, so it's not like.
Hey, easy.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's California. It's known for a few things, especially SoCal. Come on.
No, NorCal, not SoCal. SoCal is known for things like the Kardashians and Kobe Bryant.
Well, you could say Kim
And
Kardashian
Rodney
is
King.
a drag queen, but that's a whole nother argument.
All right. Anyways, I'm sorry. Once again, I've managed to sabotage and derail conversation. This happens every time, so you should really not be surprised at this point.
So we've got a question for you. Who would win, Rio from Rainbow Gate or Kaiji? Or Kaiji?
Kaiji.
Oh.
And Rio, unfortunately, I love Kaiji. He's such a great character, but Rio would stomp him because she is the luckiest person in the world. And Kaiji would cry like a baby, and I would hug him and tell him it would be all right because he's so.
Yeah, I'm going with Shimmer on this one.
Yeah.
I've never seen
And with Rio's victory, she would bring peace to the Middle East. She would brighten up relations between Japan and China and Korea. And what else could she fix? Northern Ireland would be cool with everyone else in the UK.
Irish
Too soon.
Yep,
Way too soon.
exactly. That's just how lucky Rio is.
So
lucky that she's like.
I didn't watch the show. Is that the whole premise, that she's lucky at everything then?
Yeah, she works at a casino. she works at a casino, and like her luck like spreads to everyone. She's so lucky that her luck like literally spreads to everyone at the casino, and they get lucky at games they win, which seems sort of counterproductive to me. That
if she works at a casino, the last thing you would want is for people to be good at
games. Yeah.
Oh, again, where was the quality control on this one? Where was it?
It was all put into, again, bats with chicken wings, laser sharks, and...
No, you guys say sharks with frickin' laser beams.
Sharks with frickin' laser beams, and that bikini bottom that Rio wears that's shaped like a heart. That's where all the quality control went.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's check out for our next question here. Let's see what we've got. Man, it is pretty sparse tonight. You guys just aren't... everybody agrees with you, apparently. Nobody wants to put you to the fire.
Oh, that's a shame.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, guys, any final thoughts then as we start to close up the show? Why don't we go around the horn and start with Shin?
Oh, jeez. I wish I put any thought into this at all. Well, obviously, if you haven't watched Rio Rainbow Gate, you should drop everything you're doing now and watch it, because it's it'll make you cry, and it'll bring peace to your life, just like it brought peace to the Middle.
Oh, Flaw Finder?
Watch Poppy. It is awesome. And California Crisis. Oh, and because I said this on Twitter, screw the Boondock Saints.
Hey, that show is live. That show is real action Terribad right there. Akira.
Bad for sure.
They say hell is other people, but Terribad is also other people. So next time you Terribad, do it with someone else. A spotter, if you will.
Yep.
Never watch Terribad alone, huh?
No. You do not Terribad alone. That's the
Unless
key.
you're me,
You're not Terribad
Or me.
alone.
a sad, lonely person.
And Terribad is always better with a fifth of vodka.
Yep.
Oh, I see another question. Dream. Foshizzle asking why Akira is so cool. Are you so cool, Akira?
Fox supposed to be the only person who thinks that. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I think he is terribly mistaken. I think there's a terrible mistake being made here. You know how like sometimes there are people who are in love with the idea of a person, but not actually that person. Like every anime protagonist. Also, otakus are very familiar with the idea of being in love with someone because all we love are ideas. None of the people that we love actually exist. So there's that for you. And like I said, I think he's vastly misguided. I think if any of you actually met me, you'd be like, "Oh my God, I do not want to spend any more time with this motherfucker." So
I did meet you, and I love you.
did you really? That's kind of gay, bro. But I like
Yep.
it.
I'm totally gay for you, man. The
You ever hang
gayest
out with
feelings
me?
I feel.
You ever hang out with me, you'll know I'm not as negative on my blog as I am in real life.
Oh, good lord.
Uh-oh.
In real life, I don't have a shark in my head.
I do. I always carry my shark in my head.
I know.
You never know when you might need it.
That is true.
Oh. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for watching us again tonight. You can find this show and others at my blog, joeanimated.wordpress.com. There is a podcast feed there you can click on, add to your favorite podcast app. Also, you can find these videos at YouTube, youtube.com/user/joeanimated. And if you're interested in being on the show, like my 3 guests were tonight, you can always send me an email or find me on Twitter and send me a message, and we will get you tied in. As always, it's a pleasure having you guys on with me. Thanks again. All 3 of you guys are returners. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
Yep,
And
I'm saluting right now, but a good salute and not a Nazi salute.
all right, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Good night.